Monty, stop.
Oh, we're already live. Look at that. Wow.
Hey.
Welcome to the Rick Gates Show. Marv's here. Jason's here.
Yes, sir.
We're ready to have a fantastic show. Let's start it right now. Boom.
You feel that knock? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future. So if I pull the trigger in the past, you know you and your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped, that's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow stick. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the menace, my pen touches the pad. Niggas is mad, but the ladies is glad. Yo, they rubbing up against me like this nigga is rad. Fucking two divas, drinking on sangria.
Welcome to the Rick Gates Show. It's the greatest podcast of all time, on the greatest podcast ever created. The God himself came down from the heavens and created this show by himself and basically baptized me to be the host of this show. I'm trying to fix my, the camera. This is so unprofessional.
I thought you were having an earthquake over there.
Yeah, all this junk back here is showing, and I didn't really like that. But welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy to be back. It's June. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm going to be honest with my audience. I have been depressed the last 2 months. I've been struggling creatively to write and create content from scratch. A lot's been going on. It was a tough 2023. My grandmother passed away. I still find myself grieving every once in a while. She still comes to my thoughts and prayers. So it's been rough, but I'm back, and I promise I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. With me today is Marvelous Marv, the owner of Bravery Studios. I don't have my claps and all that stuff ready. So
I could clap for you.
Hey.
And we have
Sometimes you gotta do it like humans do it.
look here, yeah. So returning to the show is Jason Enrique, and as everybody knows, Jason's like the the Jersey. I'm the New York version of Jason, and Jason's the Jersey version of me. I guess in the podcast circles, they're always like, "You guys need to get together and do something." And we have. I've been on YoTB Sports, which I had a great time. Shout out to you guys, Marv. I love the digs, love the studio.
Thank you.
I would love to continue to come out and do some more content with you guys. And Jason, thank you and Hugo for inviting me on. So it's been amazing.
Absolutely. I just have one question for Marv real quick before we start.
Mhm.
What did we do in life? We must have done something great in life
Uh-oh.
to be
The
Oh,
Rick
here we
Gates Show. I can.
Hold on. Visually, this is bothering me.
we must have done
Yeah. We must have done something right to be on the Rick Gates Show. It's an honor, man. It's an honor.
Marv knows.
absolutely.
It's bothering Marv too. So you guys can drop a comment on whatever platform you're watching the show on right now. We can answer questions. Everything is live. I'm not really fancy like Bravery Studios here, in my basement studio where these guys actually have a phone number. Actually, you guys were live on
BTV.
Yo,
BTV
BTV.
Sports, and I called in several times, and I couldn't
Mhm.
get through.
Popular show, man. It's a lot
It's
of people, and
I
sorry.
like to say it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
It's a beautiful problem to have. So, I did a nice little itinerary here, and for Marv's sake and my sake and the show's sake, we'll include more than just sports. And I think I will be expanding the show to just sports and comedy. I'll be doing some more pop culture and stuff like that. But I would be remiss if, yes, part of my depression was due to the Knicks losing, the Rangers losing, and everything falling apart. If you watch the sports show from Bravery Studios, Yo BTV Sports, I think I'm saying it wrong. Am I?
No,
You
no,
got
that's
it right. You
correct.
got it right,
You got
right
it
there.
right.
Oh, yeah. I had a fantastic time. It's great chemistry because I only share one team with Jason, which is the Knicks, and
That's correct.
I don't share any teams with Hugo. Am I right?
No,
Hugo's
definitely not.
none.
Especially not football.
Oh,
None, because you go is Yankees,
uh,
Cowboys, Houston Rockets, and Dallas Stars.
okay. And Marv, you don't really baseball.
Not
You're
a sports
Dominican,
guy, man.
not a sports guy. But
My father's ashamed of me, but
give me that story, Marv. Actually, I think you told me this story when I went to the studio. You made a bit or a joke
did I?
about it.
I
Yeah.
always forget what I say, but I think, yeah, no, my pops used to take me to the park and throw the ball at me like 100 miles an hour. And I used to lift my leg up and like try to catch it. He'd be like, "Stop being scared of the ball." And I was like, "Yo, you're throwing this at me like a freight truck." So,
Mhm,
yeah, no, but no, I did watch a lot of baseball when I was a kid. I used to watch him watch
mhm,
baseball. And,
mhm.
I was around like when the Mets had Mike Piazza, and I think Darryl Strawberry was there for a year, and I always liked his name, so I always remembered him.
Yeah, they just recently retired his number. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
shout out to Darryl Strawberry, and yeah, man, those are good times. This is when the Yankees were winning every year.
Oh, that
Sammy
was.
Sosa was still black, and we had pictures of him. We had pictures of him all over the house, and he was my father's hero. Forget about it. And
Oh,
then
really? So it was Jesus, Sammy, and the president.
I think, listen, Sammy might be ahead of the other two. Uh, and then when Boston started collecting all these Dominicans, my pops was like a Boston head. So
I never understood that about our community. Like,
yeah.
uh, I'm from Washington Heights originally, and it's like a stone throw away from Yankee Stadium, and all you see is Boston hats in Washington Heights because they had Manny, they had Pedro, they had
Mm-hmm.
Ortiz, they had a bunch of other guys that were, but those big three, those are
Yeah, those are
two
the
Hall of
ones.
Famers there. Yeah, those are huge
Well,
ones.
you know what it is. It's just that I mean, the same thing can be said for football because I'm a Jets fan, and I know tons of Dominicans are Patriot fans because of the Boston Red Sox
Yeah,
connection there.
kind of
So
transferred over. Yeah, it's great.
exactly. So they become big Poppy fans and Boston fans, and then Tom Brady's lighting it up in the NFL, so they're going to root for the same town team. And so I know tons of Dominicans that are Patriot fans as much as Red Sox fans.
We stick by
No,
our people.
we do, which I love and I support, but kind of if you go to DR, right? If you're from a certain town, it's kind of like against the law to cheer for an opposing town's team. So
Yeah.
if you're from New York, right, and I always believe that, I don't
Yeah,
think
me
I
too.
have except for college football. There's actually I love the Florida Gators. I've always been the Florida Gators college football fan.
Yeah, my mother would hate you because she's a alum of UM.
That's a strong word. Damn.
My mom went to the U, so
Yeah, so I mean that's a big rivalry. Um, but I always found that interesting, and I always stuck to the town or the city that I'm from, or I was born and raised. I think the reason why New York loves the Knicks so much is because they represent the fiber of what the city is in every sense of the word, and I think that that's also why I fell in love with the team because it felt like New York was on that basketball court, like the actual city of New York playing. So I always believe that, and God knows what's going to happen when I move away or I live in a different town. But let's have some fun. All
Yes.
right, let's have some
Yes.
real fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all big. I love snacks. Marv,
Oh yeah.
Same, same.
As you can see, I got quite a palate here as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give me your Marv. What's your favorite top snack?
Yeah, if we go to today,
Mhm.
it's the hot and spicy cashews. They're
Really?
yeah, but that's only because I'm trying to be more conscious about what I'm eating
Yeah.
nowadays. But that's my guilty pleasure. I have those hot and spicy cashews a couple
Oh,
times a week.
all right. So I got to ask because everybody's got what's the chip? The chip that's got to be around the potato chip. Marv's got it on deck already.
I was checking my garbage can to see if I had the bag. LeBron James had these really good chips like last year.
Really?
I want to say
I
they
didn't
And he's
know
were
not a sports guy. Look at him. Name
ah
dropping.
that.
My boy LeBron, he
Yeah, but he hates Space Jam too. So I don't know how much of a fan of LeBron he
I do.
is.
We're gonna get into sports movies. You guys had a really fun conversation with
Shout out to Ramon Pasante.
yeah, Ramon. I had so much respect for Ramon.
Oh man, this
uh,
this he's gonna die on this hill, unfortunately.
oh, let's do it like this. Go to chip, cookie or cracker, and
chocolate.
Excuse me.
What's your favorite chocolate?
I
chocolate
like
chip. Yeah,
no
chocolate chip.
like
Chocolate in
Chocolate, chocolate.
general,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah, yeah,
say.
yeah.
In
Yes.
general,
Yes. Yeah. So let's Marv. You threw out chocolate. There's something at the front of your mind. What's the chip, the chocolate, and the cookie?
the fudge round chocolate. Forget about it. Growing up, I had that.
Yeah.
I mean, every morning probably on the way to school. Every go to the bodega, get a flatbread
Mhm.
sandwich, a fudge round, and Arizona iced tea.
And that was probably like $3 or $4. Now it's probably like $20.
Now it was like $2 because the flatbread was
Shit.
$1, the chips were under $1, Arizona was $1, so like $2.25, something like that.
These kids will never know. They'll
No,
never
no, no,
know.
no. And then
you
for
know Mar you
oh,
know
go ahead.
Marvis you know Marvis from Patterson when he pronounces his sandwich with a G.
Yeah,
Sandwich.
sandwich.
Oh, we're gonna get into. Shout
Yeah,
out to Patterson.
yeah,
Patterson holds a special spot in my heart.
yeah.
So give me
Me
the
too.
chip, man. Give me the chip. Give me the candy bar.
The chip for me definitely was the Wise. I want to say
Ooh.
they were honey barbecue and they had a bee in the front, and
Yeah, it was like a yellow
yellow. Yeah,
beehive
man. I love those things, bro. Till I got sick. I used to eat those things till I got sick.
when they were 25 cents.
They were 25 cents. Yeah,
Uh,
25.
and the candy bar,
Yeah, I actually like the Snickers Crunch. It was
Snickers
like a
Crunch.
Snickers, but it was in a yellow package, and this was a more crunchy version. I think they had
Yeah.
more nuts in it or something.
All right, Jason, give me your
Yeah.
three, and I'll give you my three, and I'll explain why we're talking about snacks.
Okay. So for me the chip is nacho cheese Dorito, hands down. That's number one. That shoots to the front of my head.
Okay.
However, I will say when I was a kid, I used to be in love with the hot fries. Like I
Mm,
don't,
yeah,
th-
those are good.
those are good in my childhood, but ultimately it's going to be Doritos nacho cheese. Um, as far as what was the other one?
It's candy bar, chip, and cookie of
All right,
choice.
so candy bar for me it's Nestle's Crunch. I don't know what it is, but I like the crunchiness of it. I like the texture.
Uh-huh.
I love all things crunchy. I even like crunchy peanut butter. I hate creamy peanut butter,
Wow.
and it's just a
Controversial
texture thing.
views going. This is kind
Yeah,
of
bro.
controversial
Hey,
views.
hey, at least I like Rookie of the Year.
Oh
Oh,
wait,
shots fired.
I hope he's. I'm gonna text him. I hope he's watching today.
Yeah. Speaking of
And
which, check
what
out that
about Bunch
latest
of
episode.
Crunch?
Oh, Bunch of
Oh,
Crunch,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Go ahead and plug it in because it's
Oh
very
yeah.
relevant. It just came out. First class, second place, new episode with
Ramon
the
Pasante.
aforementioned Roman Pasante. And he's got a film out called Plain Sam.
It's a
Terrific
wonderful
film.
film. Such a
Yeah,
great movie. I
it's
have
it's
a
it's
lot of
based on
respect for him.
a lot of his personal story. So it's a terrific film, and it's independent. I think he's running it through the festivals, right? Correct, to get it picked up or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. I actually caught it at the New York Latino Film Festival back in
Hmm.
September, And yeah, I just thought it was a phenomenal movie, and it was also relatable because I am Hispanic, but my Spanish is not 100%. I'm not
Mhm.
fluent, so this movie has a little bit of representation for us Latinos in that
Mhm.
aspect.
Mark Rain is in the film, a good friend of mine,
Um,
content
shout,
creator from Harlem.
yep, shout out to Alana J. She's also
Mhm.
one of the stars in the movie.
Mhm. Lana J, new member of Bravery Studios. We'll talk about her pod shortly.
Yes.
And you're not mentioning the cookie. Is this a controversial choice as well? I'd be
No.
reminisced not to bring that up because you curved right there. Like, oh, let me plug in. Is it you like Oreos but you like the white one double stuffed, or is it a
No.
weird?
No,
uh,
no, no. It's nothing like that. I just got sidetracked. I apologize.
no,
But
no,
for
no, it's
me,
cool.
yeah, but no, but for me, it's always been the butter crunch cookies.
Butter crunch.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, this is the yellow package cookie. I think
Yes.
Marv's package is blue, correct? Marv,
On
the
the fudge
Linden.
round for the chocolate I picked.
Yeah, I think
It's like a transparent with like a round fudge in it.
okay because
Yeah.
this is they had a chocolate chip. This cookie company that Jason's talking about, they had a fudge brown cookie. They had a
Hmm.
chocolate chip. They had a butter
Yes.
crunch. They had an oatmeal. I think those were the five, and each packet was different. The one he's talking about is yellow, and surprisingly, that was going to be my pick also for favorite cookie.
Yeah, because you know what it is. Also, it reminds me of that Biggie song, "The Sky's the Limit," where he was like, "The milk's chocolate, the cookies butter
Oh,
crunch."
crunch, yeah, yeah, yeah. I very similar to Marv. I distinctly remember going to the bodega, getting Doritos nacho cheese was one of my favorites, but I've always been a Cool Ranch guy. Um, my chips, those cookies, or Drake's oatmeal cookies. You guys remember Drake's
Mm,
cakes?
Oh yeah.
yes,
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
It
Hell yeah.
was four cookies, and then they were like kind of soft. And if you put them in the microwave for a few seconds, those were
Ooh.
fantastic. And the candy bar for me, I like crunch. It's always been Butterfingers, and I will say a second to that will be Mr. Good Bar. Those were always my two
Mm.
favorite go-to chocolate bar. So there was a poll made: most unhealthiest snacks in the USA.
Mm.
Top 10. Top 10. So, uh, who would like to take a guess out of what was in that top 10?
Flaming hot Cheetos got to be up there. Got to be up there.
Cheetos is number 6 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
I think I may have heard about this list.
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
he's
ri-
cheating already.
no, 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 no. I don't. No,
Exposed.
no. I think I remember this because some of the shit
Mhm.
that they said on there was like, "Holy shit! I eat at least two or three of these." If
Oh,
I'm
when we finish this list, it's gonna be crazy.
all right,
Um,
I think Ritz crackers was on there.
it's not. I think it
Okay,
was. It just didn't make the cut.
okay.
Uh, well, Marv, you could get a second try. Marv is much better at this game.
Second worst snack.
Hmm.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to think what people eat the most. Is it the nutty bars? You know the wafers that come with two bars in it? Is that up
I
there?
know exactly what you're talking about. I grew up in the hood, and I love those, but that's not on there.
Oh
Surprisingly,
wow, wow.
Jason,
I, I'm gonna say Oreos.
Oreos is number 2.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Now, how often do you guys like bodega, grocery store, little pack of Oreos, or you're at a friend's house? Oreos are available. Do you reach for it
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
All,
All
all
the
the
time.
time? All
all
the
the
time.
time.
Would you say that's one of America's go-to cookies?
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Has to be that and Chips Ahoy's. It has to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's number 2.
Mm.
Chips, potato chips in general is number 1.
Any kind, all of it.
And all of the chips,
Wow.
number 1. Most unhealthiest snack you can have. So, Marv, you're making a conscious effort there with your flaming hot. What was it?
Yeah,
The
hot spicy
almonds,
cashews. The cashews. Yeah,
cashews.
that's all I eat for snack. I cut out all chips this year, all of it.
Yeah. I'm actually more into the nuts nowadays. Like I'm actually eating more peanuts, cashews, pecans, pistachios.
I don't know if it's the age thing or maybe me and Jason's cycles are synced. But now I've literally been going for lightly salted peanuts or unsalted peanuts or um I like cashews. Almonds, it depends. And pistachios are expensive,
Mm,
so usually there's a friend of
yeah.
mine at work that he loves pistachios. He always has them on deck. So Nutella's number three.
Wow.
Who's
Wow.
who's the Nutella guy here out of you two?
Not
Not me.
but I know
Not
so
me.
many people that they'll get a slice of bread with Nutella,
Yeah,
for breakfast.
I'm
Yeah. No, I'm good.
I'm allergic to hazelnuts, so unfortunately I don't partake in the Nutella. I've tasted it; it's fantastic. Pop Tarts is number four.
That was gonna be my next one because Joe Beningo, that's his favorite snack.
I love Pop Tarts. I can eat them hot, cold, no matter what. And now, I think it's BJ's or Costco's. They have the huge box. It's only $10, and it's like
Yeah.
blueberry, cherry, and strawberry, which are my three go tos. So Pop Tarts four, Twinkie is five. Like I said before, Cheetos is six. Hot Pocket, very famous in our generation.
Mhm.
You get little pizza, bagels, Hot Pockets, video games. It's number seven. Movie popcorn is eight, which we're going to talk about movies. Cliff Bar, which I've never been. This is probably the only thing I don't eat on this list. Is number nine, and
Never
10 is
had it.
gummies. 10 is gummies. I have to look up what a Cliff Bar is.
I used to have it a
Um,
lot. It was promoted as being like a healthy alternative to a chocolate bar.
yeah.
Like 10
The-
years ago, I used to eat them all the time.
oh, I see these things all the
Yeah, it's like a
time.
person climbing a cliff. Like they make it look like it's an athletic thing. Wow, I can't believe
Yeah,
they're not.
it's number
Wow,
nine. Number nine. And
wow,
gummies are number 10. So make smarter choices, people. I mean, but if you're 20 years old, 19 years old, go ahead, go crazy.
that's incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I
did
mean,
mention movie. Go ahead,
I
Jason.
no, I was just gonna say like these are conscious efforts that I'm taking to better what I put on my body because I just turned 38. My birthday was last month, and
Happy birthday, Jay.
thank you, man.
I
And I
haven't I
just
didn't get to celebrate, but I'll be out in Bravery. It's Thursday, right? That I'm going out there
in 2 days,
this
yeah,
Thursday. Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
be on first class, second place. Yes,
yeah. We'll be doing. We'll do. So I'll bring something. We'll do something together.
nice,
Hey,
yeah. And but yeah, no, I've just been trying to make smarter choices because not only am I almost 40 now, but my father unfortunately did pass away from a heart attack about
Ooh.
7 years ago. So ever since that, I've been trying to make better life choices,
Mhm.
physically, mentally, so on and so forth, because he looked like he was a picture of health, but you never know what's going on inside.
Yeah, I've been feeling. I turn 40 next Wednesday. I've been feeling that way. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, I don't know what it was, but really went through like a tough mental blockage and stuff. Um, and I went to the doctor several times to check my health out just to make sure I'm good. I have two young children. I want to make sure. But they say I have a clean bill of health except for the obesity, what they call obesity. I don't see myself as an obese person. Um, but I have been trying to make a more conscious effort as well. I think it's just a natural progression in life. You want to my wife says I'm morbid for saying this, but when you get around my age, you start thinking about what time you have left instead of what, like, oh, I'm turning 40 this year. It's more like, okay, 40, 38, 35, depending. This is so morbid.
yeah. I was gonna say you look great, bro. Honestly, you look great.
You can look
I
great,
was just
but
gonna
it's
say,
just, it's just, is it so appropriate that we're doing this episode in June? It's just, it's very difficult when you're really going through it mentally.
Yeah,
Um,
I
you
know.
can never explain it. It's just, from my personal experience, I probably had a great year last year, personally and professionally. This year as well, I just, for some reason, was not happy at that moment in time. But we're moving forward, man. I thank God I have a great support system, and I did seek therapy. Therapy is a fantastic thing. It's my first time doing it. Um, truly is amazing. And in our community, you know, the a man of color, when we're raised from the beginning, you know, you're taught not to be weak, not to show emotion, not to cry, any of that stuff, and just to grow up and be like, you know, it is okay to do those things. It's just, how can I explain it generational wise? I mean, you guys probably went through it. It's how do your parents feel about therapy and, you know, talking about emotions and um, when you're looking at your upbringing, you're like, oh man, you know, used to make me kneel on a cheese grater. Like that's not child abuse, but it is.
Not for sure, for sure, for sure.
So, a movie popcorn's number 8. So, I want to talk about a couple of films. Uh, you guys had
Nice
recently had
segue, bro. That was a nice segue.
Yeah,
it.
this is why
I'm
you're the
seeing
greatest
that.
podcaster of all time, bro.
I'm trying. I'm trying to not get too. I haven't done this in a while. I'm very rusty. I'm normally on point. Pum 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 pum. And like I'm moving, taking stuff out the back. It's gonna take me a while to get back into this nice rhythm. Um,
Bro, I'm already having so much fun. So kudos, bro. I'm having fun on the show.
Yeah, man.
yeah, Marv's like, man, I'm so depressed now.
No, man, not at all.
I'm never doing this pot ever again, man.
We all go through it, man. I get it. I get it, bro. Trust me.
Marv's like, damn, man, like I feel like this normally. Why you gotta be talking to me while we're trying to like have fun? No, so you guys had a poll where greatest sports movies of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Did you guys do an actual list for this?
I think
Or
Yes, we
Jason
did.
kept it, right? You kept the list?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, I got. Yeah.
He emailed me something which was I thought it was pretty fantastic, pretty funny. Jason, what were your top picks?
So my top picks, I not in no particular order, mind you. I had
Oh, he's so
Rocky.
no particular order. Whatever reminds of.
Well, because you have to, because they always switch. You know, one day I'm gonna love Rocky, and then the next day I'm gonna love Rudy even better.
Okay.
It just always
Yeah.
switches up. So there's Rocky,
Hmm.
Rudy, um, Any Given Sunday, The Mighty Ducks, The
Wow.
Longest Yard, The
Classic.
Longest Yard with Adam Sadler. Um,
You like both. You like the original Burt Reynolds one and
I
the
actually, I
Addison.
actually, I actually don't like the Burt Reynolds
Oh, okay.
one because I remember seeing the Adam Sandler one first, and then
Hmm.
somebody told me I need to watch the Burt Reynolds one because it's better, and I didn't agree with them. I guess it just wasn't to my liking.
It kind of messed the movie up a little bit for me, but you know,
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, Off the top of my head, I can't remember the entire list, so Jesus Christ, I can't figure out the entire list. I might have to look through my phone to see if I have it
Mhm.
complete. But other ones that I did have that we did overall agree on is A League of Their Own. We talked about
Great film.
yeah,
Just
and
great
Marv actually
cast
yeah, and
and
Marv
good story.
and Marv made a great point
Mhm.
that it seems that out of all the sport genres, baseball seems the one that hits you the most in the feels. Like there's something about baseball
Mhm.
movies in particular that's just mystique about it, and it's like you know a heartwarming story. You know, it always gets you in the feels.
Mhm.
Whereas basketball, there's probably the worst kind of sports movies. Like they're all centered around comedy and maybe the historical ones like that were based on true stories, but they're not really
Mhm.
all that well made. So you're better off you're better off with a baseball movie than a basketball movie.
Let me ask you guys really quickly. So let's do this by genre. Baseball, first of all. Let's go baseball movies.
Okay.
I know Rookie of the Year was a
Okay,
controversial
I found my list.
conversation.
Mhm.
Um, I,
By the way, I found my list.
okay. Why did Ramon argue? I don't remember why, but we had the conversation at the studio.
Do you
What
want to
was
take
his
this, Marvel, or
argument?
me?
We talked about it when he was here last week, and I brought up that I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Not calling out anyone's age, but Ramon was a certain age where that movie wasn't really made for him.
Mm,
Because I remember I must have been like 5 years old when that came out. So watching that was like I could be that kid.
mm.
But as a teenager
Yeah.
watching it, you're probably feeling like, what is this kid doing playing baseball with adults? So I get
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I get
well,
it.
his actual words were, and Marv is absolutely right because Ramona's a little bit older than us, and I was a kid as well. When I saw Rookie of the Year, I think I was like 5, 6, maybe 7. And Ramon must have been a teenager or a preteen at that time. But I remember on BOBTV
Really?
Sports, his
How old is
biggest.
Ramon now?
I don't want to say. I don't. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say.
Rookie of the Year came out in 1993, by the way.
Yeah.
So I was 3 years old. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was 6. So anyway, but no, his biggest argument was when the movie came out, the marketing ploy was like, "Oh my God, look how cute he is! Look how handsome he is!" Like it was. He has this thing where he thought the movie was about how good looking this kid was. When if you actually watch the movie, it's not about his looks. It's about a kid actually getting into a freak accident, heals from some kind of mysterious injury, and he becomes a fucking ace.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, can I curse on here? I apologize.
Yeah, you can curse all you want.
Okay, cool.
So fucking Ace is correct, but I felt like also the movie is about a kid living out his dream, like Marv said, and then that's why I identified it with it so much. And I also
And the
felt
Cubs.
like,
And if you're a Cubs fan, then it's great.
But I also felt like it's the moral of the story is at the end of the day, you want to cross the carry, but when you get that cross, you also he wanted to be a kid at the end of the whole story. So he elected to just be a kid afterwards. It was a great movie. I like Marv. Being a kid growing up, although I was a little bit older than you guys, watching it, I was like, man, because I was OD into baseball. So I was like, man, if I break this arm right now, I could probably pitch in the majors. So,
oh boy.
So Rookie of the Year is one. I do agree with. We just talked about it. Gina Davis movie.
Oh yeah.
A League of Their Own.
League of Their Own.
I think Sandlot is the king of it.
Yes, Sandlot is my favorite. Sandlot is my favorite baseball movie of all time.
That was on all of our lists. Everybody,
yeah.
Kid baseball movie. Sandlot is. What's the one with Dennis Quaid where he's on the mound and he's pitching?
The Rookie.
The Rookie. I brought that up too. Yeah.
The Rookie's pretty good, but is it Dennis Quaid or no? Kevin Costner.
No, Kevin Costner for love of the game. For love of the game.
That's such a good film.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I like
League of Their Own
better. I think Field of Dreams is better.
I'm not a Field of Dreams guy. That's one movie that I will be I saw the movie and I was like, okay, this is. I love the Angels in the Outfield a lot more than that.
I like the Angels in the Outfield. I thought I was the only one that liked that movie.
I got Disney Plus to rewatch that film because I remember as a kid watching The Lion King and Angels in the Outfield on the same night.
Oh wow!
Yeah. For me, no, The Sandlot is my all-time favorite baseball movie. That is one movie that I watch all over and over.
Slow down, Jason. Jason's blowing us a kiss right now.
Mr. 300 is a great baseball film.
Yeah, Mr. 300.
I love that. It was pretty funny.
Was that his last movie? Was that his last official movie? I think.
No, it can't be.
It was Soul Man.
Soul Man.
Soul Man.
With
Samuel
Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Don't tell me that. Hold on.
Yeah, I think so.
It was
Soul Man in 2008.
I think Mr. 300 was right before that, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. 300 was his very first starring role.
3000.
That was the first movie that Mr. 3000 was. Yeah, Mr. 3000 was his first starring role. Like he was the main.
Yeah. Actually, you guys are wrong.
No.
Bernie Mac's last film is called Old Dogs.
Old Dogs with
I didn't see Old Dogs. I didn't get to see that.
2009. It's with John Travolta and Robin Williams.
I didn't get to see that.
It doesn't look like a film we would watch, Marv.
Yo, shout out to Roman Epic Productions because The Fan, with Wesley Snipes and De Niro, I didn't watch that until last year. Amazing.
I love that movie.
Yo,
I love that.
I think that's Tony Scott. I think that's
But these are
banger of
like
a movie.
this is two different things. Like Sandlot, Ricky's Rookie of the Year. What did we just say right now that we were
The
like?
Fan.
No,
Man,
Mr. 3000. Those are like family films. The Fan, um, For the Love of the
any
Game, A League of Their
any given
Own,
Sunday.
Any Given
Oh, that's
Sunday. Those are like The Fan is such. De Niro in that movie scares the shit out of me. Like he
It's
didn't
like
care.
real crazy baseball fans or sports fans
Yeah,
in general.
yeah. Benicio del Toro does an amazing job in that movie as well.
What's his name?
He plays
Chico? Chico?
Primo.
Chico.
Primo.
It's
Yeah.
such a good movie.
Yeah.
Major League is all time. Major League has to be
Oh
top
well,
five.
Major League is Chris Abalo's favorite sports movie. Period.
Shout out to
It's whose favorite sports movie?
Chris Abalo, part
Chris
of our
Abalo.
British
He's
family
one of
over
our.
here.
He's one of our. Yeah.
Major League is a classic. Another Wesley Snipes baseball film.
Mhm.
Yeah, and also when we were doing the show with Ramon,
Mhm.
we all put in our list, but one movie we forgot, but we brought it up in during the show was White Man Can't Jump. That's definitely a classic. That's one of the better
Another
basketball movies.
another Wesley Snipes film. What
That's
about
Exactly.
did you guys speak about The Natural at all?
No, and I'm actually glad that you asked this question because after we got done with the episode, I
Mhm.
started looking to more movies, and I was like, holy shit, there's a whole bunch of other movies that we didn't mention. We didn't mention Field of Dreams. We didn't
Mr.
mention Cat.
Baseball,
We didn't mention Mr. Baseball, The Natural. We didn't mention Caddyshack. There's a
Bull
whole bunch of
Durham.
no. Ramon did mention Bull Durham.
Okay. Sugar
Um,
is a fantastic film. Have you guys seen that film?
I haven't seen that. No,
It's an independent film about this Dominican kid that ends up in the minor
we
leagues.
didn't.
no, we didn't really get into the independent film world,
It's
but
such a good movie. Benchwarmers is
You know
good.
what's
Little Big
what's
League, Bad News Bears,
Bad News Bears. Yeah,
I was
and
I was just
Brewster's
gonna say
Millions.
that.
yeah.
So or Pride of the Yankees.
No,
So
no, no.
I what we want
61's
to
a great
do.
film. Too.
I do like 61. So that was a lot of fun to do. But what I want to do is I want to do a continuation of it. I don't know exactly when. Maybe it'll be a year from when we first did it. But I actually want to do like brackets. Like I would like to do movies versus movies, like Happy Gilmore versus Caddy,
Like a
Yeah.
tournament type
March
of thing.
Space
I'm down with
Yeah.
that.
Jam versus I don't know whatever.
Okay, worst baseball film you guys have ever seen. Oh, Trouble with the Curve, by
Yeah,
the way,
and I would
is
like
a
to bring back
fantastic
Ramon.
movie.
Worst baseball movie? Oof.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it.
Trouble with the Curve is a good movie. It's with Clint Eastwood.
Ed
It's
with
Amy Adams is also in the movie.
the worst baseball movie.
You said Ed, is that the
The
Matthew
worst baseball
Broderick?
movie I ever saw was Matt LeBlanc with the monkey.
Matt LeBlanc with the monkey.
Oh man.
That's the
Oh
worst
man.
baseball movie I ever saw.
I'm gonna go with Moneyball for me.
Really?
I cannot
But
stand
that's
Moneyball.
because, but that's
Oh,
because he
that's a
loves
bias.
Brad
That's a
Pitt.
personal bias.
Yeah.
That's a
Explain
personal
explain the
bias.
bias. Explain the
Why
bias. You
is
explain
that?
it better.
I feel like Brad Pitt was I don't even feel it. Brad Pitt has been my favorite actor since I was a kid, and everything he's been in. He's always been a very eccentric actor. He always picks very weird roles. Some people might think of him as just a pretty guy, but he honestly picks really, really eccentric, weird characters. And think of 12 Monkeys, think of like True Romance, think of all that stuff, right?
Fight Club.
Fight Club. But then you watch Moneyball, and I feel like Moneyball, he's just playing a guy.
It's just a
Well,
normal regular guy.
I'm gonna make you a fan of Moneyball right now. Billy Bean revolutionized not just baseball, sports in general.
He ruined
Uh,
it, bro. He ruined sports.
okay, yes, you're 1,000% correct. We had this argument in Yo PT Sports,
He ruined
but
it.
at the point in time, look at the Yankees. That's what they're trying to do. At the point in time, Billy Bean decided, he was a general manager for the Oakland A's, and he decided to look at numbers, and figure how he was going to. $1 Million Arm is a terrible film with John Hamm.
Never saw it.
Oh, it's about he goes to India, finds a cricket player, tries to make him a
No,
baseball player.
I know the movie.
It's
I know
not
the
a good
movie. I
movie.
just never saw it.
And my pick real quick. I just saw it. I'm looking at all baseball movies right here. I just had it up here. Oh, Summer Catch with Freddie Prince Jr. It's an awful,
Never
awful
saw it, but I don't want to see it either.
movie.
I can't
Ma-
imagine Freddie Jr. No,
Matthew Lillard is a baseball player in that movie, so
no,
that's a
no. Scooby Doo baseball movie. No,
You know
uh,
what's funny is that the Benchwarmers is a silly, stupid movie, but the
it's
rewatch,
so good
but
though.
this, but
So good. So
the rewatchability is there. I
it's
watch
so
it
good.
over and over and over.
The Dominican character with I am
That's my
12.
favorite scene. That's my
Have you
favorite
seen it,
scene.
Marv?
no, I
Benchwarmers?
haven't seen that.
Oh my bro!
Transformers.
All right, that's it. That's the next bravery movie
Yeah,
night that we have.
I think I
Benchwarmers.
started watching it one night and I passed out.
It's a Happy Madison film, by the
Yeah,
way.
I can tell. I mean, you're talking about these guys, David Spade and Rob Schneider.
It's Rob Schneider. I don't want to get political, but he has great. He's a super conservative guy, which
I've
is
heard
so
about him. Yeah,
weird for me because he's a comic.
yeah.
Whatever. Um,
Well, so is Kevin James. Kevin James is uber conservative.
yeah, but he's not a real comic to me. I just
Mm,
I might catch some heat. It's just you got to check certain boxes to
I
be
get it.
considered a comedian like at your craft.
I got it.
Um, Snyder can do stand up. He could do films. He could do characters. He could do satire. He just his range. Like Kevin James is just. I think comedy got to a point where any chubby guy was trying to make a joke. Oh, this is the guy. Well, after Chris Farley passed away, they really try to fill that void with a
I
bunch
see
of
that. Yeah,
guys that you know. It, Ralphie May is hysterical. Like yes, big men have a good sense of comedy, and I think that probably one of the greatest specials ever filmed was Elephant in the Room by Patricia
Patricia
O'Neill.
O'Neill. I love that one.
One of my favorite comics of all time.
He was
Just because you're big
he was
doesn't mean
lovely.
you're funny. That's just such a point I want to say. But
Spelled bananas.
that film is very good. Benchwarmers,
Yeah.
multiple thumbs up. There's also another movie called School of Scoundrels. Have you watched that? It's not a sports movie. It's with
No.
the guy that played Napoleon Dynamite and
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
I haven't seen that either. No.
Excellent comedy movie.
No.
Okay. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I got
I
to the
haven't
list.
seen it.
It's on the list. So these movie nights are fantastic, man. I wanna, let me know. I wanna partake in this sports tournament. Baseball seems to be the best
Absolutely.
sports film thing. So let's move on. Let's see basketball. And I can tell you right now, the worst basketball movie I've ever seen in my life was the Little Bow Wow movie called Mike Mike.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
oh.
bad.
It's pretty bad, but I don't
I
think
got
that's the worst, man. That's not the worst.
for
Eddie
me.
with
For
Whoopi
me,
Goldberg.
yes,
You didn't
yes.
like
I
Eddie?
was
Well,
gonna
I'm
say
a
that,
Knicks fan, so no.
bro. I'm a
Wait,
Knicks fan,
Jason.
and I hated it.
I loved it. I loved
No,
it.
no.
I had the VHS. So my cousin Tony used to have a sort of like what was Hollywood videos back in the day, where it's a rental store. So I wish we could go back to that era where it's like you go to a rental store, you pay a couple bucks, you browse, you figure these kids will never know. He had one in DR, and he would have all these movies. Eddie was one of them, and he had an extra copy, and we used to have it in the house. So I don't know. I loved it. Yeah, my brother's scared of Whoopi Goldberg. I love Whoopi. I think she's tremendous.
I love Whoopi. It's just that movie. It's not.
Why? What about Eddie? He throws you off.
I was bored. I was bored.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not. Nah, it's not it.
So you guys think Eddie is worse than like Mike?
Yeah,
I gotta write this down. I gotta do a poll.
I think so. I don't know about Jason. I think
Oh
so.
my
I
god.
think not worse than Like Mike. Like Mike is 100 times worse, but
They're,
Okay.
they're both really bad, but
yeah.
they're kind of
But
neck and neck for me.
if I was held hostage in a cave and I only had two choices, I would watch Eddie over Like Mike.
What about Joanna, man?
Oh God,
Terrible. That Hugo hates that movie.
yeah,
Hates it. Despises it.
Joanna, man, bro.
So bad.
Dominican comedian Miguel Nunez Jr. is the star of
I
Joanna.
didn't know he was Dominican. I
He's
knew he was
Dominican.
some kind of Hispanic. I didn't know he was Dominican.
Dominican. It's
Yeah,
it's,
I
it's the
remember.
Dominican in me that I try to figure out, like, and the movie Finding Forrester, it actually was filmed in my old high school while I was attending the old
I like that movie. I
Oh,
like that
yeah,
really?
movie.
yeah. I went to Seward Park
That's a good
High
movie. I like
School.
it.
It was filmed in the Lower East Side, and I actually got to see some of the filming for it, so it was pretty good. Air
Yeah,
Bud was
Nice.
mentioned on the chat. Air Bud is a fantastic.
Everybody is
Is the
everybody's terrible.
Air Bud.
yeah.
I think I'm going to be the Ramon
You
Pasante
have a
of this.
childless show, soul, Jason.
I think Airbud could have been good for
Hey,
me, but my little brother wanted to watch it every day. Every day, my little brother watched
Oh,
Airbud, and I got annoyed of it. I couldn't watch it anymore.
that's
I still
like
can't watch
Bingo. You guys ever watched the movie Bingo, which was the football
oh
movie?
my God, I forgot about that movie. That was so long ago. Yeah.
I as a kid, so full disclosure, in my household we had that little black box with a red button in the
Me too.
back.
Me too.
And back in the day, pay per view was three actual movie channels, and then Spice and Playboy followed
Yep.
by it.
it.
and
Yeah.
and you had to hit the red button to make sure you could get so it could work or whatever. I don't know what that red button used to do.
Channel 95 and Channel 96. I remember.
So I remember distinctly watching over 90 times on that box was Batman Returns,
Yeah.
Ernest Scared Stupid,
Uh huh.
Bingo. Um, there's a couple or Fried Green Tomatoes for some reason.
Oh, that was a sad
Comes
movie.
to mind. Um, I distinctly remember Beetlejuice for some reason. When did Beetlejuice was released? But
I
these are
think
movies that like, it's on. Like we would always catch it halfway, so we would be like, all right, they're gonna reshow it again on the TV guide for you youngsters out there.
yeah. Shout out to TV Guide. The music on TV Guide was so good.
That jazz music.
1980. This movie came out in 1980. Wow, Beetlejuice
Wow.
was on there. Air Bud was one of those films. Anything that came out from 90 to 96, that's
Yeah.
where.
Yeah, no, you bring like you telling that story reminds me of the pay-per-view movies I would watch. There was Die Hard 3, there was Carlito's Way,
Mhm.
there was The League of Their Own.
A
That's
League
why
of Their Own was
yeah.
multiple
Sandlot.
times.
That's how I saw Sandlot multiple times. It was on that pay-per-view as well.
Yeah, Sandlot. I've only seen it on TV. I've never had like a physical copy of it.
Me neither. Every time I saw it, it was always on TV like a movie channel or something.
Mm-hmm.
So when I grew up, I'm one of the things that I used to collect was besides CDs. Now that I'm older, I want to collect records. I collected DVDs because I had VHSs, but then DVDs came in. Teen
Me
Wolf,
too.
you're correct. Teen Wolf was one of the movies that was played on that channel
Do
a
we
lot.
count that as a basketball movie? Teen Wolf.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't.
It's
Jason
kind of
likes it?
like the Die Hard argument where Die Hard
Yeah,
is a Christmas
yeah.
movie.
Well, it's almost like is Last Boy Scout a real sports movie?
Uh,
It's a
there's
weird.
no. They don't play sports at any point in the movie, from what I remember.
No,
Yeah, but
remember in the beginning. Remember the
he
beginning? They're playing
does,
a football
doesn't
game, and
he?
he shoots. Billy Blank shoots the guy
Billy
while he's
Blanks
playing a football game,
plays football for the first 10 minutes, maybe less.
and then he shoots a guy in the face.
Yeah, but that's it.
And then towards the end, they're actually the climax. They're fighting at a football game, but you don't care about the game itself. It's just the venue.
That's what I'm saying. They're not really showing any plays.
Isn't there a point in the movie where he turns into the Teen Wolf and he's wearing like the
Yeah, he
school?
plays basketball a whole
Basketball?
game. They play a whole game.
Oh, so there is a game in the film because I distinctly
Yeah,
the Beavers. I just looked it up.
yeah.
But you know what? There's a basketball scene in Flubber, and nobody ever says Flubber is a sports movie.
Okay,
Hold
good
on.
point.
Okay,
Hey, he
wait.
got me. Good point.
So, you brought up a movie I haven't seen, and I probably saw it twice in my life. And I know
Flubber didn't age well. I wish it did, but it didn't.
Yeah. Well, our rest in peace to Robin Williams, one of the great.
Yeah,
Robin Williams was a terrific
That I,
amazing.
actor,
that
comedian.
I would say that is the one celebrity that has ever passed away where I was sad, like legitimately sad.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
that was a hard one.
I think
Yeah.
him. Uh, what's the name of the actor that just passed away? They played Black Panther. It's just the story that
Chadwick
Oh,
Boseman,
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
who had a great Jackie Robinson movie. If we're gonna put him in the baseball category,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was in my top 10 as well.
yeah.
I liked it. Thought it was cool.
Mhm.
Not in my top 10.
No, not
The
of mine either,
problem,
but worthy of being brought up. I think
yeah,
at least.
it is. It is.
Yeah,
My issue with Chadwick was he got picked to play every prominent black man that had ever lived at a certain point, and
Right.
he was like Thurgood Marshall. He was,
yeah.
he was James Brown,
James
who I
Brown.
love.
Yeah.
He was Jackie Robinson, but I think he embodied Black Panther, and I think that role was kind of like made for him. Now that I was crying during Wakanda Forever, the first few scenes in that film.
It was rough. It was
It was bad. Like the fact that he was battling cancer and he did all those films in such a short stint, never made any excuses,
Mhm.
and just tragically passed away. Like that hit me. Robin Williams. There's a movie called Patch Adams. Have you guys seen it?
I have
Yes,
no. I missed that one.
I
Oh
saw it.
my Marv.
You gotta watch it. Another one
You
on the
wanna
list.
you wanna give a little good cry?
I got this notepad here for a reason.
Patch Adams with Robin Williams is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Uh, it's actually a true story about a doctor. Um, I don't want to give it away, but he had like a run where something interesting about Robin Williams also. Every time he signed on to do a movie, they had to hire 20% of the crew that worked on the film were made of homeless people.
He was a good guy, man. He was a good guy. And even when he made Aladdin, he was a genie. He said, "Don't use my voice to overshadow all the other actors in this movie because they're voice actors. They're not movie actors. So
Yeah,
like my name is gonna overshadow them." But Disney did it anyway. But he was really
yeah.
pissed about that.
And Aladdin, you bring up Aladdin. Such the thing is with movies, we could go on and on. Aladdin also, not Aladdin. I'm sorry, The Lion King. Jason Weaver, who sings "I Just Can't Wait to Be a King"
Mhm.
as Simba. His
Mm.
mom did one of the greatest things ever, which was Disney was offering him, I think it was $1 million up front to sign a contract to do the song and sign over the rights.
$1 million up front.
I think it was a million. I think he has said this story a couple times on interviews. I think it was either $1 million or several $1 million up front. And his mom elected to take, I think it was $250,000, right? But he gets residuals off the movies for the rest of his life.
Oh, he's living good then, right?
And yeah, so for not taking that upfront money, I think he's made over 20 million
Yeah.
just off residuals. And now when they did the live action and all that stuff, they have to play that song and
They
use
have
that. It's just, you know. So this brings me to my segment. Love it, hate it, okay with it. And Jason kind of froze on us.
I think he's not okay with it. Let's see if we get him back.
Jason, I'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, he got disconnected.
Yeah, but before he comes back, can you elaborate on this?
So I love it, hate it, okay with it. It's based off the game Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh, okay.
Right? Same premises where
Okay.
you give me your favorite, the one that is your second favorite, and the one that
Okay.
that would be the hated.
Got you. Before we get to that, can we just get into basketball movies? I feel like we didn't get to touch on it.
No, we didn't even talk about them at all. I
Yeah.
mentioned like Mike and
So
Jason.
worst only.
That's my worst film. It has to be.
Yeah.
Who do you want to message?
I want to message Jason.
But if I could just say my favorite basketball movie real quick is He
Go ahead.
Got Game with Ray Allen and Denzel. And I feel like that movie, even though I'm not a basketball fan, that movie touches me a lot because of the dynamic between the father and the son. Because his father was like super hard on him to get good at basketball, and I felt like I could relate to that so much watching that movie.
Well, you mentioned your dad throwing.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Like I related so much. That movie always like gets me in my feelings. And
fantastic film.
Yeah, fantastic. Jason, we were just talking about He Got Game.
He Got Game.
Repeating what I said on Yo BTV that time.
Yeah, sorry about
the dynamic.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My internet is messed up around here. I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. You're Jason Enrique. Like, come on,
you're Jason Enrique. You don't
apologize to anybody.
Meanwhile,
we're talking about basketball, sports films.
I have second-class internet.
Oh wow, well, you're a first-class person.
Oh, you're first class.
Take a bow, Marv. That was good.
Yo, you have that camera that moves with you when you move, huh?
Do you have a gimbal set up, Jason?
No, this is my iPad. I'm doing this off my iPad right now.
So the camera follows you, though.
It just did.
I thought you had a gimbal rigged in your.
No.
You have to have on some of those follow features on your iPad, then.
Probably, yeah.
I see you moving, and the camera moves to you.
So Marv's favorite basketball film is He Got Game. Worst film you've ever seen. Give me a why also.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Like I said, I keep going back to Eddie or Whoopi, man.
No, we can't do that.
I'm trying to think what else. What other horrible basketball movies I've seen. That's the only one where I felt like I wasn't into it.
Okay, I got some films here. If you want to hear some names,
go for it.
Oh, by the way, I was just gonna say, who goes one of his top 5? Coach Carter.
Coach Carter. There's basketball.
I love basketball.
Glory Road. Above the Rim is a good film. A Hustle, which is brand new. I think it came out in 2022 with Anna on Netflix. Is a great.
I wanted to watch that too.
It's good. Love and Basketball is one of my favorite basketball movies of all time. He Got Game. I love Hoop Dreams. True Story is a book I had to read in high school. I don't know why. It's a requirement. Space Jam's fantastic. The original. Blue Chips, one of my favorite. Blue Chips is top 3 for me. I don't know why, but Nick Nolte is just captivating for me in that film.
That's actually Hugo's top 5 also. Blue Chips.
Quintessential college, like that's what college basketball was back in the day.
Right.
I'll give it to for worst movie. I'll give it to Space Jam 2. That was a horrible movie.
That was pretty bad.
Over Tawana, man.
Yeah, I would because of the legacy factor. Because, like I said, in our generation, Space Jam was a classic to us. So,
when we get to my segment, this is a good segue for it, but I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, but yeah, legacy means a lot too. Because if you're a sequel, you not only carry the weight of the fans of the original movie, but you also have to go over the original movie. You have to excel over it, or else why even do it? And not only does it let all the old fans down, it goes above and beyond of being a worse movie. Way above and beyond.
There's also Thunderstruck. You guys probably never seen that movie. It's with Kevin Durant. There's Like Mike Part 2, Air Bud.
I heard of like Mike Part 2. Is Bow Wow still in it?
No, he's not.
Oh yeah, nah.
This also part 3, so brace yourselves.
No way.
Uh, there's Semi Pro, which is
Yeah, I wanted to like Semi Pro a lot.
so
I wanted
good.
to.
Oh, wait
I
a minute.
wanted to. I feel like it came to a point with Will Ferrell when he was doing all these character comedies where like, all right, now I'm a basketball player, now I'm a race car driver, now I'm this. Now I felt like he started to get recycled and like he's playing Anchorman again, but now he's playing basketball. He's playing Anchorman, but he's playing NASCAR.
No, sir. I will not have you talk
I don't
down
know.
about
I don't know.
the maybe strategically they should have not released it so close to Talladega Nights, but
Yes.
Semi Pro is a. Have you? Well, first of all, have you seen it
Yes. Yeah.
in its entirety multiple times?
Multiple times just to feel like I wanted to like it because I like Talladega Nights. I like Anchorman. I like what was the ice skating one? I like that one a little bit.
Blaze
I
of Glory.
I
Blaze of
love
Glory?
that film.
But that run of movies became like, all right.
It's just because he was doing sports films for a while.
He was doing it over and over.
He was also doing Kicking and Screaming, which is a soccer movie.
That's
Yeah,
also
exactly.
another good movie.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my opinion.
By the way,
Baseball.
I love in Marv's top 5 list on BOP TV Sports. You mentioned Dodgeball. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Dodgeball's a must. But this is the thing with sports movie, right? There's so many, and I didn't realize how many because now I'm doing it by sport. That I think we would have to do a basketball bracket, a baseball bracket, and a football bracket.
I think that's how Jason wanted to do it too, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do it that way.
And then they meet up at the end.
Well, here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do baseball, basketball, football, and then miscellaneous, meaning like hockey, wrestling, soccer, MMA, mixed in.
Hockey might have to get its own bracket. Like we're not hockey fans here. Or I don't know if Rick is, but I think hockey movies do. Miracles is pretty good.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks is pretty good.
Miracles is a fantastic movie. I love it. Yeah. Mighty Ducks. I also like The Cutting Edge.
Shot.
Cutting Edge.
Which Cutting Edge to me is it? I have. It's a great comedy movie, and there's a sequel. I don't know how you guys feel about prequels and sequels and remakes, but we'll get into that. Cutting Edge is a hockey player that does ice skating. So is it technically a hockey movie?
I mean, if we gave it to Wolf, Teen Wolf, then we have to give it to this one.
But I love The Cutting Edge.
I think hockey
let's just call Flubber a basketball movie then.
Right. I don't know, man. That's another one.
You guys ever see Slaps?
Which one?
You guys ever see Slap Shot?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen that.
That's a hockey comedy with Paul Newman.
It's a satire comedy.
Yeah.
There's also Billy Madison. Was that a golf movie?
It's a golf movie, but it has hockey. Yeah.
You're talking about Happy Gilmore, not Billy.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
You see, Jason, Marv.
Yeah.
Good. I got a good argument for you now.
As far as
you mentioned Will Ferrell and his run of films.
Yeah. It's the 2000s run.
Adam Sandler, I can put there, that has done the exact same character for eons, and we still go and watch it. Yeah. Little Nicky, Billy Madison.
I still will go watch
Happy
Adam
Gilmore. Okay. Yeah. So, do you still film that same? I think Semi Pro, man, is good. It's up there.
I think that even Adam Sandler suffers from the same thing. Like after, was it after Little Nicky? I think at some point we got tired of it. Like, I don't know. I think it was Little Nicky.
I'll give you the exact movie where it was for me when I saw the film, and I was like, okay, I don't need to watch another one. And it was Mr. Deeds, and I liked the movie.
Yeah. Mr. Deeds was all right, but it did feel like, all right, he's Adam Sandler. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where that to me, Mr. Deeds is where we started to lose me.
yeah.
So can this movie tournament be a summer thing for Bravery
Yeah,
students?
it could. I
Why not?
mean,
Why not?
yeah.
You kick it off
You know what I
baseball in
suggest?
June, basketball in July, August football, and then
Football.
September is the championship rounds.
That's
I like
cool.
that.
That's
I
actually
like
pretty
that.
cool. And
So
like
you
I
know,
said, each sport could like when we get the top like
mhm.
five of each genre, put them
Okay.
together.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look up every single sports movie, legitimate sports movie.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put them all on a list, and I'll be in contact with Marv, with Ugo, with Rick, with even Ramon because I felt like he needs to be in this conversation since he was part of that episode, and then we just go from there.
I mean, but there's just how do we categorize a do we include documentaries? Do we
No,
it should-
I don't think it's.
No,
it's got to be a firm criteria. The criteria is what I'm trying to get at for
it
these
has to
films.
Yeah,
be a studio motion picture,
yeah,
Okay,
scripted.
so scripted. So we're doing
yeah.
scripted films.
Yes.
Now, does not another teen movie or what's the other one with Billy Rob or what's the Dawson's Creek football movie?
Oh,
Oh,
Varsity
Blue Mountain
Blues.
Country or
Varsity
Varsity
Blues.
Blues?
Varsity Blues.
That's a good
Varsity.
movie. I
I
like
like
it.
that.
That's a
I would.
college football movie. That counts. That
No, that's a
counts.
high school. That's a high school movie.
High
Yeah, because
school.
even Friday Night Lights counts. So
Friday
that
Night
that
Lights is high school. Yeah, that's
yeah.
another one.
Okay, so the
If we count
longest
Mighty
yard.
Ducks, then we have to count high school because Mighty Ducks is a grammar school or elementary school
Well,
movie.
we were talking about one of the greatest, which is the Sandlot. So,
Yeah, exactly.
all right. So we just, the criteria. Let's define the criteria. The sports. And what about the Blind Side? How did you guys feel about that? Which is very interesting because now the story is,
It's
It was
he was
potential.
big.
on, he was in a conservation.
Yeah.
Michael Moore.
Well, I don't consider that a sports movie. I consider that a biography because yes, it is surrounded around an athlete, but the movie is not about him, and it's not about
Yeah,
him playing. It's all centered around how she saved his life. She
yeah.
didn't. She wasn't on the one stepping
White
on the field.
hero complex. Okay.
Exactly. Like she wasn't the one that was on the field. You bitch, she wasn't shooting with me in the gym.
Yeah.
I never liked that movie, but
I didn't like it either.
now,
It
yeah,
was too
pretentious.
pretentious for me.
You guys don't like Sandy Bullock?
I
I,
do love Sandy Bullock, but I don't think I just don't think that that's a great movie. Like if you want to talk about speed, Sandra Bullock, then hell yes.
Okay, a guilty pleasure Sandy Bullock movie besides Miss Congeniality
Uh,
is The Heat with
that was
Melissa
okay. That was okay,
I didn't
but
get to see it yet. I didn't get to see
Uh,
it.
I
Jason,
saw it. I saw it, but you know what it is? I did like it, but I can't watch it because that tracheotomy scene it gets me grossed out.
gets you
I can't.
queasy.
Oh, I can't look at it, bro. It makes me nauseous.
Just, I think that's probably Melissa McCartney's uh, best performance in a film. She just throws so many jokes. Like rewatch it and just
Mhm.
concentrate just on her and her character and what she's saying, because
Yeah,
she's so quick with the banter, and she has great chemistry with Sandra Bullock in that movie.
and I did
It's
like her Boston accent. Her Boston accent was hilarious.
and then the whole thing with her sergeant where uh, she's looking for something, and Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock is like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "She's looking for my balls." Has anyone seen? They're like this big. Marv, it's a
I
good.
watched it.
I'm a guy that with it was my brother, one of my best friend, Art, rest in peace. He would come to my house and Wednesday. I'm sorry, not Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. We would get a DVD or a movie, and it was mostly comedy. That would be one of the ones that would be in our rotation. And I actually purchased like American Pie. I was an American Pie guy.
Dragon Pie's
Marv.
good. Yeah,
I
Oh,
love
okay.
that movie.
that's good. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
um,
hate everything, but American Pie was a good way to get transported back to like 1999, 2000.
so, at what point did you say, "Okay, I'm done with this American Pie stuff"? Was it American Wedding? Because part two was awesome.
I like part two. My pops caught me watching part two on the black box, and he was like, "You shouldn't be watching this," but he let me watch it. I think part three was kind of lame. Yeah, they didn't bring back
Mm.
everybody.
Hmm.
I think part three was in.
And
You got you,
the actor from Rookie of the Year is in that movie.
He is.
Yeah, he's Kevin.
yeah,
I never knew that. I
yeah.
never knew that.
Let me.
I never knew that.
I don't know the actor's name. But
Wow.
he is
Thomas
in that.
something.
He is in that film.
I didn't even know that.
You know
I know
what?
who it is. I
If
know
you guys
who
are
it is.
down to do a movie pod, I am definitely down to
We've been
help
contemplating it. Yeah.
contribute, and be in it. Thomas Ian Nicholas is his
Yeah,
name.
there you go. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I think we may have spoken to you about this before, Rick. But um, in the early stages of Bravely Network, we were messing around with a action movie podcast. Like we're talking
Yeah.
about like Commando, Demolition Man, Rush Hour, like the classics.
Classics,
And
so
and
so good.
but the problem was is that according to Marvin, I ultimately agree with him. It seemed like it was too much of a love fest where we would have appreciated if there was like some kind of pushback. Like
Yeah.
Chris Abalo, he's one of our good
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
We wanted him on the Rush Hour episode, and he chose not to be a part of it because he rewatched it and he didn't like it, and he had his own personal takes of why he didn't want to, like why he didn't like it. And we thought it was perfect, but he didn't want to do it. But we thought that that would have been a perfect argument to have him on the show.
Now,
Me, Ugo, and Jason have too much of the same taste, and it just became, yeah, me too. Yeah, I love that too. Yeah, I like this too.
yeah, that's not a good pod.
No, no.
I think I spoke to you guys about this. A friend of mine's Clayton Williams, stand-up comic from Buffalo. He has a podcast called Nobody Watches Everything,
Mm.
where they have a randomizer, and at the beginning of the week, everybody meets up. It's him and Rick Matthews. They're two stand-up comics. They hit the randomizer with along with their guests for that week, and whatever the film is, they all watch it. So they take time, watch it. They really watch the film. They write down their notes. I literally had like I think I did Top Gun with them, and I did Fred Claus, and I came to the episode taping with a ton of notes. Um, I think it's a great way to do it. This tournament thing is a great way to kick off a movie pod, but you have to really be critical of the film. You got to take away your. So they did an episode on Ace Ventura, which is a film that I loved as a kid, and now I
Mm.
watch it as an adult. And I heard their pod, and I heard their opinions, and it kind of like changed the way I feel about the movie.
Interesting.
As far as what
Ace is an asshole,
he is,
Yeah,
yeah,
he is.
a huge asshole. So,
that's it. That's all you had to say.
so
Very
I
valid.
ever since then I've been really conscious of watching movies that I loved as a kid now as an adult, especially now that I have my own children.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mm.
it's a beautiful topic to talk about film because cinema is fantastic. There's just so many places you could go with it. Uh,
Yeah,
but I am 100% down to be involved in a podcast that
right.
has nothing to do with any of the stuff that I do, which is film, which is one of my like passions.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I keep on thinking about bringing Ramon into these kind of
Mhm.
topics is because I like to do things with people that have clout, for lack of a better term. And he is a filmmaker. He actually
He's a
has made.
director. He's a
He's a
director,
director,
producer.
so
You
so
know,
I think it's perfect to have somebody of his caliber to be involved in these type of discussions.
and I have a lot of friends in the industry.
There you
Casting
go.
directors,
Yeah, I'm
actors.
I'm acting now.
Yeah.
I don't have much to my name, but I do have some credits. So
No, no, no. I have friends in the film industry. Jason Enriquez, guy's an actor, podcaster. He's soon to be comedian one of these
Gray head
days.
of hair. Gray head of hair.
Crazy. According to Hugo, the greatest head of hair ever seen on film or a pod,
I
and
say the
probably
best hair of bravery.
Jason. I think
Me and
you have.
Alana have kept. Me and Alana are. We're gonna have a competition about that. Who has better hair? Bravery.
I think your voice is probably one of the most interesting voices I've ever heard in my life, and that's coming from a guy that I get compliments on my voice as well.
Right, and
And
I
and
just say
you're not
I just say the
faking the
same about
funk,
you.
dude. You're that's just your cadence. That's just how you talk.
I wake up like this every single day. And it's funny you say that
Oh,
because I feel the same way about you, Rick. I
okay.
mean, I think that you have an amazing, fantastic voice, and I think that could definitely be put to use. Really good.
I think we should do an
Both of you.
animated
Both of
film
you.
and
Wait,
just
as
listen.
far as voices go, I have a voice off list for you guys.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
the list, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
me
You guys
too.
want to go to this now, or are we done with our sports list?
It's your show, man. You
Well,
talk.
I was kind of
I'm just
hoping we
going
would.
with the breeze right now. I
I
threw my
was
script out the window. I don't care.
I was kind of hoping we would save it for first class.
Oh well,
Okay, okay.
yeah. Practice it then.
It's a beautiful teaser. I do have something I want to talk about in the subject of film. So I have
Sure.
a segment that I do on the show called "Love It, Hate It, Okay with It." It's kind of
Okay.
like
Yeah.
fuck, marry, kill. Shout out to
Hmm.
whoever that is back there. I love you.
Jose.
Is that Rocco back there?
Yeah, Rocco's here.
Rocco. Okay.
My
So
brother right
it's
there.
kind of like marry, death, kill, right? So we were talking about films. Something Hollywood loves to do is remakes, prequels, and sequels.
Yeah.
So, what do you love out of those three? What do you hate? What are you okay with?
Good.
I'm ready.
Marv, I'll let you go
Me
first.
too.
Okay, so I have to pick a movie that has a remake, right? Or
No, which one of those three things you love to see, hate to see, and you're okay with?
as far as
Remakes, prequels, and sequels.
you know what? I'm okay with a remake. As even though I don't like my expectations are lowered, of course, but I don't like prequels. I don't like when I know too much of a character's backstory. You know,
Really?
they said they're gonna make a Sopranos, Tony Soprano growing up or whatever. I don't need to see that, and I don't need to
Really?
see Han Solo as a getting his first gun. I feel like
Mm. So I'm
why?
liking this argument you're making right now. Okay,
Yeah,
continue.
I don't need to see all that.
And what are you okay with?
Like I said, I'm okay with a remake. I'm okay
So
with it because I don't think it affects the legacy of the original movie as hard as we think it does.
you love sequels.
Oh crap! No, I didn't even think of that. No, I don't.
That's why this segment.
I don't love sequels. No, damn. What? I mean, there's some good sequels though, like Terminator 2, Aliens. If they get it right, then yeah, I'll love it. Back to the Future 2. I love Back to the Future 2 more than Part 1.
I agree
And I
with you
like
on all three.
That's my favorite Back to the
I
Future.
like Die Hard with a Vengeance more than Die Hard.
My favorite Die Hard movie.
There's some good sequels out there. Like if they get it right, they get it right, man. But then
And one thing that we could all agree on is that Die Hard 3 is not a Christmas movie.
yeah, it's definitely not a Christmas movie. It's a New York movie, which makes it brings it home for me.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I like seeing Bruce Willis in New York. I'm not a New Yorker, but I
And
cross the
Sam
bridge every other month, every
and
other
him
week.
Anything in
and
New York, I'm for.
Yeah,
him
You
and
know what? In that same token of conversation, Home Alone 2, to me,
I'm
I
alone too.
prefer.
Yeah, I like
yeah.
So Marv, you love sequels. You're okay with
knowing too much.
remakes, and you hate prequels.
I hate prequels. Yeah, I hate knowing too much about a
Okay,
character.
I love the argument. Thank you for that. That's kind of. I'll give you my three. Jason, let's hear your three.
Okay, I love sequels because more often than not, I'm actually gonna find more sequels that I love more than remakes and prequels. I'm okay with remakes because sometimes you have some remakes remakes that are definitely doing it justified. Like perfect example, the original Dune from the '80s was a horrible movie. The most recent ones that came out, much better.
Good on
Yeah,
you.
I that's just my personal opinion. I think that the Dune movies now are much better than the one from 1984. Obviously the Scarface from 1938 is a decent movie, but it pales in comparison to the Al Pacino remake.
great
Um,
point. Great point.
Oh my God, you're just man. You should be running for office. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm
yeah,
loving these arguments. Let's
yeah,
just keep going with
and
it.
I do hate prequels because the fact of the matter is a prequel, the original source material, my mind is already made up. So like let's just say for example the Matrix. All right, so I love the Matrix, and I actually don't mind the sequels all that much, except for the last one. The last one was trash. But if they actually decided to make a prequel about the origins of Morpheus and Neo and Trinity and all that stuff, I feel like they would butcher it so bad and it would be so uninteresting. And from a movie making technical standpoint, I may actually hate the actor that plays Neo or Trinity,
Oh my.
or like they pale in comparison to Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne. Like, so you're gonna tell me that Donald Glover, as much as I like him, he would actually play a great Morpheus? Hell no. So no, I'm not. I hate prequels. I'm okay with
Wait,
remakes, and
you
I love
mentioned
sequels.
Donald Glover. Is there a prequel in the works for Morpheus?
No,
I,
I just
I
you
heard,
could.
I heard about that. I did hear about Matrix Morpheus being a. I don't know if it got off the ground, but it definitely was a script flying around.
I
Oh,
didn't. I was not aware of that. I was not aware of
okay.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking
So,
trash right now.
so what are your three, Jason?
So I love sequels.
Mhm.
I'm
Got the
okay with
same-
remakes, and I hate prequels.
We got the same order.
Exactly as Marv.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we have different arguments.
yeah, for different reasons, but the
Yeah, but
same
they were both great.
conclusion.
They
Yeah.
they, they brought up points that I didn't think of. But here's my take.
Okay.
Hate. I'm gonna go with hate first. I hate remakes
Mm, okay.
for different reasons. So I'm gonna give you my story. So I'm talking about the small screen because I want to include the small screen in this, not just for films.
I see where you're going. Okay.
Hollywood has decided to regurgitate a lot of shows and remake them and redo them. And for the same reason, my argument with prequels is I'm okay with prequels because I am interested in knowing how Obi-Wan got to where he was. I'm a big Star Wars guy. Anything with Star Wars, I'm kind of interested. I'm intrigued. At least they have my intriguement. Now, there's certain things that should just remain untouched. No sequel, no prequel, standalone, right? Sequels, I'm okay with. I like. Um, so what did I say? So I hate remakes. I'm okay with sequels. No, no, no. I'm okay with prequels. I love sequels. So mine's a little different than you guys.
Mhm.
I really don't like remakes.
Can we
And
debate this? Are we allowed to debate with you?
we are. You
You make
brought
a
up
good point. You
you
make a good
brought up
point,
good
Rick.
points, but just let me the remake thing. The small screen is awful. It's always been awful. And
Yeah.
historically, you mentioned something very important right now. When they do remakes, the casting never right,
Mm-mm.
never right.
Never, never.
And when they do remakes, they also like to tinker with the story. And
Mm.
Yeah.
also, as it depends on when you're watching this, where you are in your point in life, you get attached to certain films. If they remake the film and you go watch it, it kind of disappoints you and it chips away at the original film that you're in love with because now you have it's like if you see a loved one pass away and you go to the wake and you see them in the casket, right? That memory will clip into your mind every once in a while. So, if, for example, you mentioned Dune, I have never seen the original, so thank God. I just love this. I love the two films that they brought out, and I think they're on a good momentum, and I think the third one will be good as well.
Yeah.
Um, but if I watched and I never saw the original Scarface, I have a documentary on Brian De Palma, a DVD that because I like
That's a
Brian De
that's a good documentary. I saw it.
and he talks about the origin of Scarface, and you see some of it. But to me, Scarface is Al Pacino. So at the moment in time in my life when I watched it, people they've thrown around scripts about Son of Tony and things like that, and even a fan made a YouTube video. It's pretty nice. It's like top notch, top quality. They got some of the original actors from Scarface in it, and they're trying to like, yeah, it's kind of like when you do a 10-minute film and you're shopping that out to expand on the story, and it's pretty good. I gotta find it. I'm gonna share it with you too. It's good. I'm not interested in watching it. I don't want nobody to touch Scarface. And I think it's because when you mention The Matrix, that's in that category. Like, story's unique. The actors that were in that movie, fantastic. Like, everything was nearly perfect. You have to leave that alone. You can't touch it. Right. Whereas, if we remake Kindergarten Cop, I could have some success at remaking that film.
Interesting.
So if I go to remake Mrs. Doubtfire, how would you guys feel about that?
Well, I'll say this. I didn't like the fact that they did a live action remake of Aladdin with Will Smith as the genie, and you just can't like that. Like, you already knew that you were facing an uphill battle going up against when you're going to be compared to Robin Williams. So you better make sure that it's a damn good movie, like The Dark Knight was. Because everybody, I remember when The Dark Knight came out, one of the biggest concerns was like, how's Heath Ledger's Joker going to compare to Jack Nicholson? Because by that time, Jack Nicholson was known as the greatest comic book villain of all time, and then Heath Ledger just goes, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. So this is my argument with you guys as well. So when certain things are met with a level of almost perfection, because there's no perfection in this world, and then they make an attempt to remake it or redo it, and there's only two things. There's no in between. You either really hate the film or you think it was good. So why even attempt it? Why even let the mystique and the aura live? Like The Crow.
Oh God! Oh God!
Yeah.
1994, Brandon Lee, The Crow is probably one of my favorite films of all time. And they
Such a
just,
good movie.
I even watched the sequel just cuts. That's why I'm saying sequels, you'll watch it. And the prequel, you'll be curious. And if the prequel's bad, it doesn't really affect the original film. But the remake, it gives you a bad taste in your mouth. Like it's bad. You're, and especially when like an actor knocks it out of the ballpark. It really, really. I was a kid that grew up on the Wonder Years. Granted, I'm just going to use this as an example. I have not watched the new version of the Wonder Years that they just released. They're still on television. But I would not go and watch that new show.
Yeah.
Because I know my expectations will be a major letdown.
Right. And you make a good point, because there's a lot of these remakes that they're made from movies to TV shows, like Lethal Weapon. They actually made a TV show of Lethal Weapon.
Mm.
They made a TV show of Rush Hour. They made a TV show of Training Day. Now, none of them lasted long, but still.
The Equalizer.
The Equalizer, yeah. So.
I actually will be
Come
on
on, Mark.
I don't think your argument was that when you watch a great movie and then they have a remake that's horrible, it pops into your mind and it's kind of like a chip at its legacy. I actually don't feel
not that it chips. It's just you'll still
there.
remember the remake. It'll come to your mind.
I don't think so, because when I have conversations with friends about like RoboCop, the RoboCop remake doesn't come up, and I remember
nobody remembers it.
Exactly. And then when I talk to Jason, we talk about Total Recall all the time. I think we quote it like once a week.
And Predator.
never talk about the Colin Farrell version of it ever. And I think that if
But
you
it's awful, and it exists.
it exists, but I
That's my
think
point.
I don't think that remakes affect the legacy of the original at all. I don't think
No,
so.
not effects, but it's a giant failure. I just feel like
It's a blemish on the record of the original,
they
right?
should just leave certain things alone. Like, there's certain moments in time, like I'm a big stand-up comedian fan.
Yeah,
George Carlin used to do these beautiful HBO specials.
yeah,
Um,
7 dirty words.
yeah, it's just certain things like Martin. It's a sitcom that should never be touched. Um, I'll give you The Fresh Prince and Martin was probably some of my two most beloved sitcoms of all time. Two for
Mhm.
different reasons. Martin was like the people's champion type of sitcom that everybody
same.
watched no matter what.
Yes,
Um, Fresh Prince was about the culture, put the culture in like right in your face in a prominent channel at a prominent primetime spot, and it was just beautiful. It had everything. It had comedy, it had drama. The episode where Will cries to Uncle Phil, which I'll forever know that actor as Uncle Phil, not his actual name.
James
Um,
Avery.
James Avery. Uh, Uncle Phil was like my uncle.
yeah.
That's how great that show was.
Agreed.
Um, those two shows, and then they to go from that Fresh Prince to great idea. I give kudos for the idea. A melodrama, Bel Air show, which they have now.
Right.
It's like Saved by the Bell and Saved by the Bell the college years. Like, why touch something that was just so good at its peak and in its time? You know, if we redid, I don't know if you guys remember Doogie Howser MD, but
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
if we go back and we try to recreate some of these moments, I get it. You know, Hollywood has this 10-year clock in their mind. A film
Mm.
comes out or a show comes out 10 years later, it's a new viewership, new audience. Let's reintroduce them to it. But why not just take what was done, if it was done so well, and just refine that cinematically, visually, and reproduce it? I'd rather that than a remake.
no, no.
That's my argument.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. If the prequel is bad,
No, no, no. I'm not talking about prequels, Mark.
okay,
I'm talking about Star Wars, right?
okay,
Forget about the prequel. The original first four, five, and six in the
yeah,
chronological order.
yeah.
If they really wanted to if George Lucas, which actually he didn't have the technology to do the first three, if George Lucas wanted to really bring back Star Wars, he could have just, with the technology, went back, redid the three films, um, cleaned them up. There's just so much technology,
He
and
did do that though.
re-release those and introduce the new audience to those films, like Rocky, the original Rocky. I think Sly should go back, retouch it visually, put it together, revisiting the actual work and re-releasing it. I'm a fan of that more than
A remake.
remaking it, because The Godfather, one
Yeah,
of one of my favorite movies of all time. They took The Godfather, they spliced it up, and they did it in chronological order, and they re-released that on HBO. I mean, it's like 6, 8 hours, but I
mhm.
sat there the whole day and I watched it, and it was beautiful to watch. I'm more of the organic, artistic view, keeping that at its pristine than going back and trying to remake it and reintroduce it in a new light, new way to a new audience.
I agree with everything you're saying, except for the point where you said that you rather a prequel than a remake. And like the point I was making, that in my mind, I don't think of the bad remake when I think of the original classic.
Okay.
But if it was a prequel where like Han Solo is concerned, Now you have a movie that's canonically tied to the original. That
Yeah.
this is Bible. This is gospel. This is Han Solo before the original movie Star Wars. So that means you have to think of that when you
Mhm.
think of Han Solo today. It's not a different universe. It's not a different director. It's not a different story in general. This is what this guy was doing. Harrison Ford.
Mhm.
This is what he was like before the original Star Wars. That you have to think about before you watch Star Wars now. It's canon,
Let me ask you.
Bible. Where like before you say that, in a remake,
Mhm.
in your mind, you can say, nah, this is a different world. This is a different director, different writer, different everything. It's a whole different universe. It doesn't have to be the RoboCop from what was it, 2015 is not the same RoboCop from 1983 or whatever.
I until you mentioned RoboCop and what was the other one, the Colin Farrell one? I didn't remember
Total
the name.
Recall.
And
Yeah,
I've seen
you
both of
don't
them.
think of them.
Um,
They don't exist to me almost. If
I
like
don't.
it's like disowning whatever.
But the reason why I'm okay with prequels, it piques my interest and I watch it, whether it's terrible or not. Like I did like Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian,
Only him was good. Only he was good in that.
and I was okay with it. I'm not. That's why I picked it. I'm okay with it. I do love Boba Fett. I do anything Star Wars. I have to watch and see, like even the Spider-Man movies. But we've done this for an hour and 35 minutes. I think we came to a conclusion that we should do a movie pod.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm all for it. Sign me up.
I'm all for it as well. I mean, I was just about to talk about Spider Man. There's three right now. Three, there's the Tobey Maguire, there's the
Andrew Garfield,
Andrew Garfield, and then there's the Tom
Tom
Holland.
Holland. Yep.
hmm
Um, which I mean, we're so lucky. I admire each version and each film for different reasons.
agreed, agreed, agreed.
Um, not too crazy about the Jamie Foxx Andrew Garfield film, but I still liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought that it was well made in certain aspects, and I did like Andrew Garfield's portrayal as his version of Peter
I,
Parker's
I
character.
think he was spot on as Peter, like the
Yeah.
look and everything. I'm not too crazy about Toby's. I think was it three? It was one of the Toby ones that. Well, when I was a kid, the Spider-Man, Toby Maguire films that were
Was
coming
he?
out,
Three
it
was the
was
one where he was dancing in the street like that with the suit and
yeah, and it wasn't even that. It was just that
thinking that it
film.
was
Like
all cool and everything.
I think they mailed it in. They were just like, we
Yeah,
did one and two, we knocked it out the park. We dropped this one, we'll be all right.
Well, they had too many villains. You had the Green Goblin, you had
Sandman,
Venom, you had the Sandman, and then
and then
a whole bunch of shit.
you can honestly count Mary Jane as a villain in that one too, because she was like breaking up with him all the time.
She was a bitch.
Yeah.
I didn't say all that.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Right.
Jason Enrique, you can quote me on
I'm cutting some of these clips up. You guys think Eddie was an
that.
awful movie? Mary Jane is a bitch. All right.
I didn't. Well, not you guys. Not you guys. She was. She was a little like. Why are you mad about this?
Okay, better
No.
character: Gwen, Mary Jane, or the new Mary Jane?
Uh,
Zendaya.
Yeah. So it's
Uh,
Kirsten
I, I,
Dunst.
I do like Gwen Stacy.
I will go with Gwen. Yeah, I'll go Gwen.
I kind of Emma did a really good job in those.
and
Andrew
I and I
is
and I
Andrew Garfield. This is an episode. Is
Yeah,
Andrew Garfield the
because you know what it
greatest
is.
Spider-Man?
Because you know what it is also, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but if it was either like if between Emma Stone and Zendaya and Kirsten Dunst,
Mm.
out of all of those women that could out of all those characters that could have died when Gwen did in part two, I actually would have I felt like part of the reason was because I felt her character more than I did for Mary Jane and the other one and Zendaya's character. Like if they were
they
put
had
against each other.
really good
Um,
chemistry. Emma Stone and
Andrew
say
Andrew
Garfield.
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, amazing chemistry
Yeah.
in a
I
different
kind
movie.
of
They'd be in a romantic comedy together.
you're right about Emma Stone, but I think Zendaya did a terrific job
She
as
did.
MJ. Um,
Well, let's remember they're playing different characters because MJ in the original lore is a little more playful, a little more outgoing, and party
I
girl.
I kind of don't. I have a thing against Kristen Dunst. Like I don't.
She played her very generic Wonder Bread.
Not a fan of her.
Yeah, she that's her thing.
I
That's
don't. I don't think. I don't think
And
she's a terrible actress, but
I thought
she's not
Toby
hot
when
shit
he
either.
first came out, like that's Spider Man to me. Toby Maguire. It's just my age,
yeah,
but Garfield does have the actual comic book look
yeah.
to it,
Yeah. You
and
know
I'm
what it's
just
like?
they just did this. The Tom Holland films have been so good with the whole all the storylines, and it just the last one. Holy shit! Were there all three in it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was amazing.
and
You know,
and
you know, you know what it's like. You know what it's like, Rick. It's like to me, Michael Keaton is Batman. It's not that he was a good Batman or I thought he was a great
I
Batman.
love the Flash. I'm
To
sorry.
me, he is Batman. But I'm okay. But I'm okay with Christian Bale with his portrayal of Bruce Wayne Batman.
I you know worst Batman Ben Affleck, right?
Yes.
mm,
Well, no, hold on, hold on. I
Wait.
think George
Worst,
Clooney. George
worst.
Clooney's worse. George Clooney is
George
worse
Clooney's the worst.
I'm not.
because
Let's not bring Clooney or Kilmer in it. And I think
That's not
Kilmer did.
I
fair.
like
That's
Kilmer
not
though.
fair.
I
That's
think
not
Kilmer did
fair.
a decent job. So
That's
I
not
think
fair.
because they only did it for one film, I I think the worst was Affleck. The best is Keaton,
He had a
and
bad director. Affleck
Bale
had
did. Bale's the thing is, it's Nolan's vision, and Bale did it justice, and I loved it.
Ben Affleck
I
was dealt a bad hand. He had a bad director in Zack Snyder. He didn't have the a movie
you
to
don't like
himself.
Snyder.
I like
You
Snyder, but not directing Batman and Superman together. He didn't have a movie to himself. He had to share it with Henry Cavill. So this whole he had to play kind of the antagonist almost because he had to hate Superman for no reason. It's not him. It's the
write
way
these down,
DC was
gentlemen.
set
These are
up.
the episodes. These are the arguments we're
No.
gonna
It's
Now
not
have.
what
Ben
about
Affleck's fault.
now
I'm
what
not a
about
Ben
Robert
Affleck fan, but I know it's not his fault.
now what about
Let
Robert Pattinson?
I
What?
okay. So I was not a fan of having Robert Patterson as the Batman.
Yeah, me
Not a
neither.
fan at all.
Well,
I
I
see
hated
Twilight
I
when
hated
I
his
see him.
Bruce Wayne. I hated his Bruce Wayne. His I could deal with his Batman a little bit, but his Bruce Wayne to me was the worst one.
So the villains in that film, Zoe Kravitz and the
Paul
uh
Dano.
and Jeffrey Wright, by the way, it's
Oh, it's
just
Commissioner Gordon.
anything he does,
Just good
he's
cast.
great.
Yo, and
He's so
I
good.
can't wait to see the Colin Farrell Penguin show because I thought he was great as Penguin.
I and you see what I mean? Like it's just I don't know who's doing those movies, but they did great casting because I was excited about
Great,
everybody.
great
I
cast.
just was not happy about Batman himself. He's a moody emo Batman, Bruce Wayne, which is a problem with me because Bruce Wayne is an eccentric billionaire. He should be out there spending money. Even
Yeah,
Bale, Bale is annoying in The Dark Knight. He shows up like, "Oh, it's fine. I own the place. I just bought the place or whatever."
Yeah.
Like that's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne
he's acting like a
really,
billionaire boy douchebag, as
yeah,
he
he
should.
has to. He gets in the pool in the films. Like he has to
Yeah.
be an asshole completely.
He might become that in the next sequels. He might become the eccentric billionaire playboy.
I mean, the problem is this is going from I forgot the name. I think this is the year one storyline of Batman where
Yeah,
he's
it
more of
is.
a detective type of Batman, which I love this look at it. It is just and they got it right. Nolan got it right. Um what's the I love this guy
The
who
new
keeps
guy?
Matt
no
Reeves,
the original Batman with Keaton.
Tim Burton, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Tim Burton. I love Tim. I'm sorry, Tim. Burton did his vision and it was beautiful. Nolan did his vision and it was beautiful. And Matt Reeves is doing the Batman, right? The
Yeah.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And his vision of what Batman is beautiful. I guess it's just the director. It has to be a beautiful, perfect director. And DC's always been dealt a bad hand, but I think
Mhm.
The Flash, the movie The Flash that just came out, great movie. Have you guys seen it?
I
I don't.
thought it was. I call it the trash.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
It just the kid does a good job as the Flash, as
I don't
Barry.
think so. I don't think
And
so. I thought he was horrible.
I liked it. I liked the way he portrayed him. I liked bringing back Keaton. I like the whole sequences of I'm just a wrestling fan, so seeing all the Batmans in one movie was just so good for me.
No, I get it. I get it. I think he could have been good, but I think his real life persona, has tarnished what you could think of this actor in any movie. He
Yeah.
was doing wild stuff in real life.
No, I know. That's the thing. You guys saw all that stuff before you actually saw the film, so
Yeah.
you went to watch the movie with a bias in your mind that I'm not gonna like this movie.
I think so. I would have liked it more if I didn't hear all that, but I also wouldn't have put it as an amazing movie. It would have been. It
No,
would have
I
been just okay.
I don't know if I agree with
just
that because
having Keaton and the cow again, and just the nostalgia. I'm just saying it was done correctly.
Keaton was a little too much like Tarzan in that movie, though. I'm gonna be honest. I love Keaton,
You're
but
not wrong. You're not wrong.
he was doing things that he didn't move like that before. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, he's older. He hadn't done this. His Batman, the first Batman was in '89. So imagine.
I know they have special effects now, so now they were like, all right, make them breakdance fight or whatever.
I got to tell you though, my favorite scene in The Flash was already something that we saw in the trailers, where you see Batman, you see Keaton and the cow for the first time in forever, and he says, "I'm Batman." In that
And it's-
in that iconic voice.
I like
That
the
was my favorite
you want to
part.
get crazy? Let's get crazy then. I like that
Like,
line.
Let's get nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of sequels, Batman Return was
I love Batman Returns.
just DeVito. I have a soft spot
Great
for
casting too. Great casting.
Michelle
The movie has problems.
Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer is probably the sexiest
The best,
Catwoman.
the best Catwoman. The movie has problems, but not the cast and the actual ambience of the movie. The movie itself has an amazing ambience that movies can only dream of recapturing.
I just think there was something with the script first and the ending was just it wasn't all there for me. I didn't have a finality to it.
Yeah.
But I love the movie. I'll watch it any day.
Oh, I love it. I love it. There's definitely issues there, but it's a vibe. Like you put it on, and you get transported into this it's more gothic than the original Joker version of sequel. But yeah, I agree. I love it, but it has its problems for sure.
And it's a real Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Aha.
With that being said, on the Rick Gay Show, you heard it here first. I fully 1,000% support creating a new podcast discussing television and film. I'm a small screen. I love small screen stuff too. So, but I'm definitely for it. And I want to thank Marv and Jason. And I want to do this again. I want to do it in person in studio on the set, and we'll continue our conversation because I feel like this is gonna. This is a forever conversation, a forever argument.
Yeah,
I think that we were meant to be in each other's lives after this episode, bro. I'm more convinced of it more than ever.
Beautiful. That's
what was something that we brought up in the studio that we were all like, "No way, I can't believe that." Oh, what's the movie Marv has to watch? Has he watched it?
The Last Boy Scout,
right? I watched it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think Damon Wayans was horrible in it, but I think that almost makes the movie better. Listen to me. Him being this like scrawny, squeaky voice football player, it almost makes the movie funnier to me.
Yeah,
I consider it a good thing.
Yeah. So I want to bring
the dynamic though. It worked with him and Bruce Willis, didn't it? Though?
It did. But
chemistry.
I feel like Bruce Willis was so amazing that you could have put anyone next to him and it would have been good. Shane Black coming out of Bruce Willis's mouth and pause, no Diddy, but yes, so good, and that Damon Wayans shines next to Bruce Willis because of that.
Have you seen the Damon Wayans Adam Sandler film?
Bulletproof.
It's in my head. Bulletproof.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it. I
saw it.
It's good. It's good. All right.
I like it.
All right, let's save some of these conversations.
We can do this all night.
Yeah.
But thank you again. Marv owns a podcast studio in New Jersey. Marv, give me a plug real quick for Bravery Studios and some of the pods you're producing out there.
Yeah, so you can follow us at Bravery Studios NJ on Instagram, or just check out braverystudios.com. Of course, shout out to my Bravery family. Shout out to the First Class Second Place podcast. Shout out to Exposed with Ash. Shout out to the Ugo Boy podcast. Shout out to the
Act Up
Hit
with
Pod.
Alana J.
Shout out to Act Up with Alana J, man. I really, really, really enjoy working with her. She's been amazing thus far. And I know we have big things coming along the way. Shout out to the Mina Mendoza show. Shout out to the Mind Mink show. And shout out to everybody here, man. Love you all. Love you all.
And my New Jersey brethren, Jason Enriquez, First Class Second Place. Where can we catch that, and when can we catch Yo BTV Sports?
So, Yo BTV Sports is on hiatus right now. It looks like we're going to bring it back during the football season because that's when it really pops off. And
no baseball stuff. Come on, I'll do some base. I'll fill in for you.
We gotta get the baseball viewers involved. We can't. It's hard to get some baseball viewers.
I'm here. Listen, my cousin works for the front office of the New York Yankees. I mentioned that on the pod. We could do some baseball stuff.
We'll talk.
All I'll say is you could talk to Marv about that because
no, you can talk to both of us. We're both in charge here. Come on.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. So, but in the meantime, go check out the older episodes of Yo BTV Sports because even though they discuss sports topics in that particular part in time, I feel like they're still evergreen episodes, and you get to see the chemistry between me and Ugo and all of our guests. It's a fantastic time, and it's also very knowledgeable. And also check out First Class Second Place, now available on all digital platforms. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at First Class Second Place. And also be on the lookout for on July 1st, another short film that I just made, Close to the End, will be released. Shout out to Zane, the writer and director of that short film. Be sure to check that out on YouTube on his channel at I Am Zane Studios.
Perfect. Jason, I want to go to one of these premieres, bro. So
next time,
come
with us. Come with us. You have an invitation.
They're all in New York anyway. We do them all in the city.
And then Marv, anything you want me to come out to, I'm always there for you guys. I told this it was a genuine. It's just certain people when you meet in person. It was a genuine connection. I loved going to the studio. I loved I spent 2 hours after we filmed the show. And 2 hours before, just hanging out, talking with you guys. So I loved it. Thank you for being on the pod. We'll do real reconnect over the summer. I'm pretty sure you'll be back on this show. I'll be doing some stuff with Bravery. Thank you so much, my brothers.
All right, thank you for having us, brother.
Thank you for having us.
With that being said, here's the last time you'll see this intro ever on this show. I created a brand new intro. Next week, you'll see it. I will be having some UFC stuff coming up soon, and Jessica I will be on the podcast, so watch out for that.
You feel that knock? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future. So if I pull the trigger in the past, know you and your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped. That's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow sticks. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the menace, my pen touches the pad. Niggas is mad, but the ladies is glad. Yo, they rubbing up against me like this nigga is rad. Fucking too deep.